make sure we
Jose.
get a chance to discuss this very interesting Substack post that Dennis wrote. I think it was published just yesterday. And people, to some extent are very aware of the devastation being called in Gaza, but maybe not so aware about how it affects Israelis and whatever military personnel might be in the area from other countries as well. What put this on your radar, Dennis? And it's a really good point.
Well, first of all, I'm opposed to war, period. And every justification since World War II that has been used for war has been based on lies. That's number one. So, and I can't be rolled. I can't be spun. I led the effort in the U.S. Congress against the war in the Balkans, against the war in Iraq, against the war against Libya, against continuing the war in Afghanistan, against what we were doing in Syria, on and on and on. I just see war as a racket. I'm not the first one who said that, but it's a racket. Then I looked at what's actually happening now in Gaza. We have to come up with a new word that goes beyond horror, because the language that we have right now doesn't adequately describe what the people of Gaza are going through under this extraordinary bombardment of the Israeli, the IDF, with U.S. supplied armaments, U.S. supplied bombs. It is horrific. So, I've been thinking about this. I wrote a piece before that a few days earlier called "The Cross and the Pieta," which was about the emotional and spiritual impact of the war being visited upon Gazans, and in the context of Mary, Mother of Jesus, holding her slain son in her arms, Michelangelo's famous sculpture, the Pieta. But then this piece, I started to think about, wait a minute, there's a metaphysics here that are expressed in the environment. Israel, adjacent to Gaza, is involved in this unrelenting bombing of Gazans. But and the people literally are being reduced to dust. Right. They're being vaporized. I describe that quite graphically, but I do it in a way that's forensic, so it's kind of scientifically. And people need to understand that the consequences of war go beyond the boundaries of where the war is. And so, in this case, Israel is actually breathing in the fallout of the war that they're visiting upon the people of Gaza. And I go into great detail about that, but it's not only about Israel, it's about Jordan. It's not only about the breath, it's about the land, it's about the food. It's about the air that circulates not only in the region, but, the smoke and all the things in it carried aloft can go hundreds, even thousands of miles. And Jeff, Morgan, I wrote that as a lead-in to the next piece I'm going to write, which is about this crazy, absolutely depraved plan to bomb Iran, which has over a dozen nuclear structures, research, reactors, on and on.
Well, that was the thing, Dennis, that came into my mind, actually, when you said that the people, they would be breathing in the fallout of the people that they vaporized. My first thought was Iran. If there's an attack, a nuclear attack on Iran, then all of that fallout will also spread all around Israel and all of the neighborhood as well.
The wind will go in kind of a circular area. And it can go into the Middle East, absolutely. You can also go into Afghanistan, Europe, Pakistan, India. Okay.
Well, that's somewhat known about nuclear weapons, but I don't know that the people are aware with conventional bombs about this dust that you were talking about. Well, is this even an issue in Israel? Is anybody talking about it?
Well, no, but see, here's the thing. I wrote this because there are no consequence-free wars. Right. For either, for certainly the victims and for those aggressed upon and those who are doing the aggression. And I'm sure this is something that hasn't been thought about, and I'm sure the Israeli government is not sharing information related to what has to be elevated levels of toxicities in the air, particularly adjacent to Gaza. It's just, look, I lived near steel mills when I was growing up, and just within a mile or so, and the dust was on our sill. You could inhale sulfur dioxide from a nearby private utility. It was burning coal. We've all had experiences like that. But now think about 100,000 tons of bombs in this small area about the size of Detroit. It's extraordinary.